gentle with yourself? Is there room for gentleness in your busy, hectic life? Oftentimes, our lives are so full of chaos that we have trouble with our health and our well-being, and our levels of stress create a lot of confusion in our lives. Well, I'm here with Anders Nilsson to talk about how we can slow down and discover our life's true path. Anders, thanks for being here.
Oh, I'm so grateful to be here. Wonderful.
So, what does gentleness mean to you?
Gentleness means that you actually love yourself. Love yourself in every moment of the day, and you love people around you. And love becomes the same as acceptance. A little bit, I accept you, and I accept myself, and I accept things happening in my life. And in that space, I become gentle.
So, in our lives that we live in, this busy world, there's not a lot of gentleness.
No, because we lose it a lot. We develop this type of feeling that we need to be someone, need to be doing something, and we sort of have no time to slow down, as you just mentioned. So practicing gentleness, having that in your vision for the day will help you a lot go through the day. And it's just practicing to think about that, how wonderful it is to exist, enjoy the moment for what it is, can really bring a lot of fruit for the day. Yeah.
You talk in your book about living from our heart. What does that mean?
It means simply that you live from this beautiful feeling within yourself that everybody has the ability to tap into. This little bit warmth around your chest, where you feel that something is radiating out of you. And when we are in touch with that, we could have anything that happens in your life, challenging situation, but you feel that warmth in your heart coexisting with the challenges of your day. I call it a little bit like you have one hand holding the light or the love within your heart, and the other hand you reach out to the challenges of the day. And that changes a lot how you can view the world, how you view yourself, how you view other people, and the events happening in your day.
In the world that we live in today, so many of us live from our minds. How do we move into a space where we're living from our heart?
That comes by spiritual practice. I call it a little bit like you just decide that you want to shift. You want to shift towards finding what I call the true self within yourself, and to transform what is false within you. And what I mean with false is what people call the ego and so on. So that might actually be driving your life a lot. And then usually you're in your mind worrying about things, worrying about the future, thinking about what happened in the past, and that drives our life often very much. So by deciding that I want to stop doing that, I will really start to becoming more who I really are, and I outline a number of exercises how to do this, and maybe I could just bring out one of them, very simple one.
Absolutely.
I call it, just find the sensation within you, how it feels that you exist. Just sit down, relax, and feel the sensation within you that you actually exist. When you feel that you exist, you don't need to be anyone, you don't need to do anything, you don't need to be perfect. You just exist. And that starting point brings forward more and more of who you are. And I practice that anytime during a day when I have to wait for a flight, standing in line in the grocery store, being irritated on someone, I go back in trying to find that connection. And that is like a portal into yourself. On top of that, we can practice also to seek to feel this warmth around our heart. So these two, feeling how it feels to exist, that sensation, and the warmth in your heart, just these two will make miracles in people's life.
So in Mandala is a meditative tool, and we often share with our guests and viewers a meditative practice. Do you have one from your book that you would like to share with us?
The most simple one is just what we spoke about. Mm-hmm. I do a meditation which is really to become very quiet within, and then seek within you the sensation that you exist. and meditating on that sensation. You just slowly go down and ask that question. I exist and I don't need to do anything to exist. It's the most simple thing.
Do you want to do it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can do it.
I'll follow your lead.
So
And
yes.
maybe just guide everyone just a little bit.
So we just take a deep breath and breathe out. And we come here to be fully focused on the moment. We can hear all the sounds around us, the waves from the ocean, little traffic in the background. We can feel the temperature of the air towards our body. A little bit of the sun rays coming through the clouds towards our skins. And we are fully here right now. And we empty our minds of any thoughts. And if there is any emotion, we just let them to flow through us, like water coming out of a fontaine. And in this moment, we ask the question within, how does it feel that I exist? I exist without having to do anything now. I don't need to be anyone. I just am who I am in this moment. So we just breathe in and breathe out. And we are sitting here enjoying that we truly exist. The most simple thing we can do is to exist. It takes more energies to have our mind filled with worries, thoughts about the future, past emotions stored in our body. It's much more simple that we only exist. And we can also in this moment just feel a little bit of that warmth around the chest area. Like we have a golden ball sitting in the chest. And we can imagine that we can open a portal into that chest and letting that golden light to come out, spreading around our bodies and radiating out into the world. We show the world who we truly are, and we show our body the home we have being a human, that we truly love it fully by immersing it with this warmth, light, whatever we actually see there flowing through our body. It is miraculous and magnificent that we are alive, existing here and now. The most simple we can do. And with that, we just come back a little bit to this moment again.
That was beautiful
Thank you.
and very gentle.
Yes. Yeah, spiritual practice, I think, in my view, should always be loving in every step. Loving doesn't mean that we actually is not following the truth, but we are doing it in a loving way. Yeah.
Yes, your background is interesting. You're a scientist.
Yes.
And yet your book is about spirituality.
Yes.
How did that evolve?
Yeah, I used to be a very hardcore scientist more than 20 years ago, believing that if science couldn't explain anything, it wouldn't exist. And then I had a spiritual awakening through some emotional turmoil in my life. And it was a little bit like pushing a button on me, and something else just came out. So my view is like we are, each of us is a manifestation of the divine. And we are here having an experience being a human form. And me, as this divine, is something much larger than what we can envision for this physical world. But we are having an experience of this physical world around us. And so science is about to discover what this physical world really means that I am experiencing. And I'm thrilled to have a life as a scientist to be on that journey to discover what our physicality really is all about.
Are there questions in science that can only be explained by spiritual?
It's a very good question. I think that eventually, if we are taking the scientific route, and what we mean with the scientific route is that we can make observations. And that is what science is all about. We make observation of the physical world. If we cannot make this observation and relate to them in a scientific way, it is not science. It doesn't mean then that spirituality doesn't exist. Spirituality, in my view, is something much bigger than science. Science is only a subset, which is there, how we develop quantum mechanics, thermodynamics, biology concept, and so on. They are all there to explain the physical world, but they are not there to explain who we truly are.
And that's such an important question that so many ask is, who am I?
Yes.
Why am I here? What is my purpose? What is this experience that
Yes.
I'm having all about? Those are big questions
Yes.
that persist. They wake us up at night.
Yes.
So how do we reach that answer?
That answer, in my opinion, can only be reached from within. We can seek who we are by doing the exercise we just did. It's a sensation more. It's something we cannot figure out in our mind. It's a sensation we try to, and when we try, we will lose it. The mind is excellent to make connection, to understand our physicality, but the mind is not equipped to understand who we truly are.
So when we have to make a decision, an important decision in our life, maybe whether to move or what to study or some life-changing decision, a big decision, how do we make that decision from our heart?
So a good exercise is actually to do what we just did. I did it once for my nephew who didn't know what to study at university, to really go out and bring out all the options on the table. Here I have 10 options. Then do something else for a while.
Step away from it.
Step away from it.
Okay.
And then go within, slow down, do the exercises, meditate, and then put out these different choices, but have a still mind, and then sense it within, the answer will come.
And when the answer comes, how can we identify that it's the right answer? Because in our minds, we evaluate, here's the pros, here's the cons. We're constantly weighing options. So is there a way to just sense that what the heart wants to do, even though maybe if you're balancing out the options, they may not make sense, even if the heart wants to do it? What do you do then?
I usually feel good about it. It's a feeling of lighted. It feels good. This feels, so you need to get into that sensation. Usually it operates the other way around, in my view, that the mind becomes into the service of the heart. So the heart sets the direction, the sensation of it, and then mind gets how to execute it.
So what's next for you? What's your vision?
My vision is I'm planning to write another book for science and spirituality. I think this is so important. because the world has taken a path very much into materialism. And we are destroying our planet, we are destroying ourselves by this materialistic path. And we need to bring back spirituality, what we feel in our heart, what is important for the future. And then merge what we can do in science and technology together with that, with the spiritual aspect, the heartfulness, all of that. When that comes together, we can build a beautiful future. And I can foresee a world where we have equality for everybody. We don't need to be stressed out to make a lot of money. We are creating instead something in harmony where we use science and technology as tools to manifest what the heart wants.
Beautiful. Anders, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you so much, Christine.